All right, guys. So the global server for Silver and Blood has been down for a while now, and we've been informed that it's going to be down for longer still. I'll be honest, I considered just ignoring it, not even talking about it at all. But the majority of my content has been Silver and Blood stuff. Sometimes it's guides, sometimes it's complaining, and I've never been one to shy away from a good rant, you know? So let's talk about it. Right before they announced this downtime, I was actually in the process of making a video about Silver and Blood, and the intention was to offer tips on how I would make the game better, make it long lasting, what systems I think are detrimental to the game, and how they need to basically course correct to make myself and others happy. At least in my opinion. And then I saw that there was a post about extended downtime for global server for server migration reasons, and I was just like, you can't make this up. Like, this is the worst timing possible. I feel like the game's already in a pretty sorry state, and it seemingly gets worse every patch, but I don't think, or at least I didn't think, that it was beyond saving, but my mind has kind of changed. I really do feel like this is a death stroke for Silver and Blood, at least for the global server. Once you have that interruption of like your daily schedule of logging into an idle game every single day to just keep up, especially for like a period as long as this, you kind of start thinking, well, do I really want to keep playing this game? Like, is it fun? What do I enjoy about it? What do I not enjoy about it? Is it worth my time? And I started asking those questions to myself around the time Livian and Alexi came out. I saw the writing on the wall where the game was going, and I talked about it with you guys. Like, I highlighted all of my concerns, and pretty much every concern I had came true, and it got even worse than I thought it would be. So what are my issues with Silver and Blood right now? Let's start with the Soul Heirloom Vault. It was really only added to entice you to pull dupes of new characters. It's not a system to buff old characters, kind of like how I thought Synergy would be, but again, the Synergy system and the Soul Heirloom system exist only to make new characters stronger and require more investment. With Synergy, you have to pull more characters to fulfill the Synergy requirements, so you have that full team. And then for the Soul Heirloom Vault, at minimum, it seems like you need 2 copies of a character and not just 1, because Spirit Siphon 1 locks like basic functionality that should exist in the kit by default behind a copy of a character. And then it only gets worse the farther along the tree you go, with just massive power spikes that really have no place in this game. And with the release of the new PvP tournament, it's very obvious that they want to just entice whales to spend all of their money to get max dupes, and so they're PvP competitive, and then they can get their name posted on the front page of the launcher, and it's like, hey, look, this is the best player in the world, good job. Whales get to flex, and Moonton gets a lot more money. Everybody wins, except people like us that don't spend tons of money on the game and just want to casually play through content and pull for new characters and, you know, use these new characters and new team compositions. I think you guys get the point. So the Soul Heirloom Vault is a big issue. I wouldn't say the Synergy system is an issue. It's just not. It just didn't end up being a way to buff old characters, at least not to the extent that I thought it would be. And there's just like a big shift in attention being paid to PvP at the moment. At least I feel like they're shifting more into a PvP oriented game. Now let's talk about their proposed compensation for this downtime. So originally they expected the game to be down for about 3 to 5 days for the global users, and their compensation wasn't even enough to make up for the lost daily rewards of those 3 to 5 days. Moonton doesn't really miss out on anything by being generous with this compensation. Like, if anything, you should be very generous because you're disallowing people from playing the game at all. You want to give them a really good reason to come back for the reasons I stated before. You're like, when you're not able to play, you're just thinking, well, do I even miss the game? Do I want to play it? And when you see these rewards or this compensation that they give you and it's just nothing, it's really not much at all, you start thinking, well, they obviously don't care about the time I'm missing out on, so why should I give them any more of my time? The fact that people had to come together and basically form a list of grievances with the compensation really says a lot about the company and how much they value our business, really. And while we're on the topic of business, we can talk about how some gachas, they rarely, if ever, do spending events. Well, Silver and Blood has been doing a new spending event basically every month for a while now. You know, with every new patch, they're like, oh, look, here's a new spending event. Make sure you spend lots of money so you get these little bonuses, while constantly adding more systems to the game that you have to devote time to and resources, and making characters worse on release by adding the soul heirloom system, adding new power spikes, like with the 3 dupes to unlock the satin. There's just been a trend that is hard to miss with Silver and Blood, where they're just constantly incentivizing spending more and more money while making the game less and less convenient and harder to keep up with unless you're actually spending money. So why did I even stick with Silver and Blood for so long? Well, I do like the game, or at least I did while I was still making content with it. And when I made this channel, I was like, I can make Silver and Blood content. There seems to be kind of a gap with content for this game, and I enjoy it. I enjoy learning all the ins and outs of the characters and how to min-max, and I enjoyed grinding the semi-competitive PvE content to get the best result that I could, like with clan hunts and Night of the Hunt and stuff like that when it still existed. And I even applied to be a content creator for the game, an official content creator. They never got back to me. It was kind of funny because in the application, when it asked for, you know, 3 of your best performing contents or most successful content, all 3 of my best performing videos were just like videos totally roasting the company. And you know, I still sent it. It kind of felt like less of an application to be a content creator and more like I'm just complaining to you about your game. But genuinely, I did just send my 3 videos with the most views, and you know, I talked about how I enjoy making guides for the game. I like talking about the game, and I just like interacting with the community. But I guess I was too big of a brand risk for them because they never got back to me. And you know what? That's understandable. But on the off chance that they did make me an official content creator, I was willing to continue making content for them. And I was looking forward to being on the test server to try out these things and like get more usage out of like characters that I'm not really able to pull for full dupes of, and like give you in-depth information about them. As it is now, I'm just a person playing the game, basically free to play now, and I see no real incentive to keep making content on the game, at least not regularly. And I mean, it's not like I could make content right now because I can't play the game. The game is literally unplayable for me. So with all that knowledge and all the grievances I had with the game, I started looking for other things to cover. I dipped my toes into, you know, talking about lore in Nikkei. And while I think the video did pretty well, I didn't necessarily enjoy talking about lore in Nikkei, and I didn't feel like it was something I could do long term. Like, it wasn't something I enjoyed. And then I tried out Wuthering Waves recently, and that was actually my best performing video by far. And it really got me thinking. I didn't make this channel to be, you know, a 1-game channel. I didn't make it just because of Silver and Blood. My intention was always to play the games that I love, make content on it, inject as much of my personality into the videos as I can. I don't just want to be like a guide slop channel. Even if I do want to like make guides, I still want to just like talk to you guys, you know, discuss my feelings about things, give insights. So that's why I did do those like patch overviews and patch impressions, and just talking about the game, the state of it, asking what you guys think of it, responding to as many comments as I can. That's the kind of channel I want to be. And the truth is, Silver and Blood isn't a game that can really support content for my channel. I don't know when this downtime will end for Silver and Blood, and I don't know if I'm going to log back in if and when the maintenance does end. Silver and Blood really felt like something special when it first released. You know, it was generous, the combat was fun, the character design was unique, and really all we have now is the combat, which is honestly kind of just getting power crept to the point where it just doesn't really matter. You don't have to be nearly as tactical or thoughtful about your team comps and stuff like that, because we have synergies to pigeonhole you into specific team comps. and we have characters that are so insanely powerful that you really don't have to worry about too much other than making sure they survive and do as much damage as possible. So I will be moving away from Silver and Blood content exclusivity, and I'm going to be exploring other avenues because I do want my channel to grow. I want to have a community of people that are interested in discussing the games that I enjoy playing. I want to make entertaining videos. I want to make informative videos. And Silver and Blood doesn't really support content creation at all right now. If they don't want people to drop the game, they got to make it better. And I think they can make it better by, giving the quality of life that people want with sweeping. Just let people sweep all the content. Don't make them pay tokens. Give people some kind of rebate on limited pulls, kind of like a mileage system from Nikke. Bring back Prophecy Unbound. Bring back Night of the Hunt. Have better anniversary rewards. Give people lots and lots of moon tiers and scrolls to pull. Don't just make banners with FOMO pulls on them. Remove the level cap from Haunted Sepulcher. Give people more skill materials. Make more floors of the mausoleum. Let people exchange pure blood for divine blood or solely if they want to. Get rid of the bellows system, or at least homogenize all of the items so you can use bellows on any piece of gear and they're not unique items that can only be used on specific pieces. And just for the love of God, get rid of the soul heirloom vault. It's awful. You change all these things, I guarantee people will come back and they will be happier to play your game. And I think it should go without saying, if the game's going to be down for a week, give them like 3 weeks worth of compensation. You need these people to come back. But if you want to make a game that only like 1,000 people play and like 100 of them are whales, then have at it. But this is what I think would make the game a lot better. So if you like my opinions, if you like my content, if you want to support me, please continue to watch new videos on new games. Subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and I really appreciate all of it. I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy reading your comments. I try to read and respond to as many as possible. I appreciate all the support and love you guys give me into growing this channel into something I can be proud of. And that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!